He got 10,000 for us. Both of them will be unveiling the National Lottery this evening, and it's only fair that both should be getting that done. And I wish to congratulate both of them on getting back to the Dáil yesterday. I know Dennis had a hard slog, but he was never in danger, and I wish to bring to everyone in Asdee has noticed that these two boys seen after us very well.
Very good, Jim, very good. And getting back now to the Jack Walsh, it's a great day for the Walsh family, really, isn't it?
Oh, it's a fantastic day for the Walsh family. I couldn't say too much about Jack Walsh, holder of 6 All-Ireland medals, member of the first 4 in a row, and he toured America. A lot of it we'll be calling out at half time again, so I don't want to be repeating myself the whole time in this video.
Right, well, that's Jim O'Connor, the chairman of the club. Now, Jim was paying tribute there to a lot of people. I've no doubt that the chairman of a club, as I know from being involved in football, is the most important man in the club and has seen over all this development work. And I think on behalf of a lot of others, I would like to pay tribute to Jim as chairman of the club from all the other North Kerry clubs, because without chairman, the buck stops with him. No matter what goes wrong, eventually the chairman has to carry the can for it. And Jim has been involved for a long time, and particularly since this started 10 years ago, and this evening the facilities are a tribute to him. Thank you very much, Jim.
Right, Robert, thank you. Right. Here we have John Keenan, holder of 3 All-Ireland medals with Galway, and he broke out happy. He's son-in-law of Jack Welch, and he'll now introduce the members of the Welch family. Over to you, John.
Yes, thanks,
and
Jim.
Say a few words as well.
I'm honoured to have to be here today. Jack Welch and I were great friends. When I was growing up, I heard a lot about Jack in Galway, and I never thought I'd be married to his daughter Gabriel. So
you've become half a Kerryman.
I've become half a Kerryman already, and I'm honoured to see such a fine pitch in honour of him. And I'd like to thank the organising committee, especially Jim O'Connor, the chairman, and Patsy Coughlin, the secretary, and Eddie Ann Welsh, the treasurer. I think they've done a great job.
Fantastic evening.
Yeah, and a lovely evening for the game and all. I hope we'll have a good game of football. Yeah.
Let's start red lights, a bit of win ahead.
And John Keenan will do the honours now of introducing the Walsh family. He's married to Jack Walsh's daughter Gabriel, and of course John himself. 1964, 65 and 66, those years, the great Galway team, they won the 3 in a row, and it takes a great team to win in All-Ireland. It takes an even greater team to retain it, and to win 3 in a row is something special, and very few teams have done it over the years. Kerry, I think, Wexford way back in the early part of the century, and Galway. Very few teams have done what they've done, and John was part of all that. A fine footballer, very gentleman, and very skillful on the field of play. And as a young fella, I remember him playing. Didn't like him at the time because they were beating Kerry, but he won his All-Ireland medals, and fair play to him.
Yeah, of Jack Welch.
No.
Harold Keenan.
Right, John.
And this is Michael Welch then. This is Tommy Welch, the brother. Tommy. This is Jack's brother, Tommy. This is Teddy Welch, a nephew of the great Jack. This is the goalkeeper comes the family. Eddie Welch, the son of Jack. This is Mary, Mary Kelly, a daughter of Jack.
Hi.
This is Gabriel Welch, Gabriel Keenan, my wife, daughter of Jack. This is my son John Henry Keenan, nephew of Jack. Grandson. This is Pat Finn, daughter of Jack again. This is John Joe Sullivan. Paddy D, a friend of Jack.
Yes.
Yeah. This is John Joe Sullivan, son-in-law of Jack. Dermot Finn, son-in-law of Jack. Norma Sullivan, daughter of Jack. Eleanor Keenan, granddaughter of Jack. This is Thomas Walsh, grandson of Jack. This is May Walsh, Tomas's son, or Tomas's wife. May is the daughter-in-law of Jack, home from America. This is John Welsh, nephew of son-in-law of Jack, or grandson of Jack. These are 2 friends here from Armagh. Matt Renahan, Stevie McMullen and Kathleen McMullen, all the way from Armagh.
A long way from home.
Yeah. So I think that's the lot of them now got.
Coming up the sideline there is Paul O'Donoghue, the great Kerry fullback in the 60s and the early 70s, and Paul, I remember him well playing in the 69 and 70 All-Irelands when Kerry won, and he was back in the early 60s as well. And of course the Galway 3-in-a-row team interrupted what could have been more All-Ireland medals, but certainly Paddy played his part and was one of the finest fullbacks, and of course also played alongside his late brother Eamon O'Donoghue. Eamon who played at wing forward and sadly passed away at a young age. And of course it's remembered now, the North Kerry Championship is called, the cup presented is called the Eamon O'Donoghue Cup, and that was Paul O'Donoghue.
Right.
There's Gus Cremens, the great man Gus, who played midfield for Kerry in the 1946 All-Ireland, and the replay against Roscommon scored a fantastic point that led to victory, and one of the fine midfielders, and of course was injured in 1947 for the Polo Grounds when Eddie Dowling and those from Ballydonhoe, which is just up the road from Asdee, were involved. That's the great Gus Cremens here tonight to pay tribute to the great Jack Walsh, the late Jack Walsh, and of course pay tribute to the great work done by the Asdee GAA club. And here we have with us at the moment the current chairman of Bowden Organ Asdee, and a tremendous committee worker here, and has done a lot of work on this pitch, Oliver Campbell.
Well, I'm chairman of Bowden Org, and it's a great honour to be a chairman of Bowden Org here in Asdee. There's a wonderful community spirit here. We have a great bunch of workers, and as you see today, the pitch that's here is a credit to everybody that has worked so hard over the last 10-11 years to bring it to what it is today. It's the culmination of, as I say, a lot of hard work. When the club was set up in 1986, it was a dream at that stage. This dream has now come to fruition today, and it's honouring a great man in Jack Walsh. We are really honoured to be part of it, and I would like to wish everybody every success from here on in with the club. We are very fortunate that it's such a fine evening this evening, and as you can see, the crowds are beginning to come in. We are expecting a good crowd, and we hope to have a wonderful game between Kerry and Clare.
Thank you, Oliver. Thanks very much. And here we have with us the current secretary of the Asdee GAA club, Patsy Coughlin, a man who has put an awful lot of time into this club, has put an awful lot of time into the GAA as an administrator, as a referee and as a player, and today he must be really happy to see what is here this evening and the people turning up and so on. Patsy, a great evening for Asdee.
Wonderful, Robert. Absolutely marvellous. So first of all, we're lucky with the evening. In fairness, we were hoping that we would get it, and it has come, and we're delighted with it. The field looks fabulous. We're expecting a nice crowd now, and everything will go off well for us.
You've been with it since the start, Patsy?
Right from the start. Me and many more now, in fairness. It was a big combined effort by all of us, and we pulled together right through it, and the fruits are here now to see it tonight.
What roughly is the cost of what you've done here?
We've figured around 170,000.
And how are you faring out now?
We own nothing. That's incredible now.
That's incredible for the small parish.
But we have bled the parish, in fairness, and they have supported us, and we've been well supported by the National Lottery and from the GAA itself, and Sean Walsh is very good at us, and that's all part of the process, I presume.
And Patty, you have a beautiful programme out as well. I was looking at you the other night.
That's right. Jack Hennessy is chairman of that now. He did great work with himself, and John Joe Carroll and John Kinney and Eddie Welsh, they were part of it, and they put an amount of time into it, and for all the special invited, it worked out so well for them.
And you're very happy for the Walsh family as well?
Yeah, very important. The man with Colin in the field after was a legend, famous around here and indeed all over the country. Met a man from Clare about 10 years ago, and he knew more about him than I knew myself, and that's how you describe a famous man.
And of course you have a great tradition down here for producing
for sure. We have, at half time we have a presentation now of 13 All-Ireland senior medals and a special medal, a Club Memorial medal that was won by Jack Moriarty. That many clubs, no small club can do it, and that many clubs, only maybe the big clubs of Long Rangers and Austin Jackson, those clubs would have that.
I was looking through the programme the other night, Patsy. We know about Jack Walsh and the Donohoes and John Kinney, but there were a lot of others that won college medals and vocational medals and so on.
But you were saying to me now, you put me in a small fix because I leave out somebody. We have a
well, no, but
an amount of young players.
Yeah, and they're all in the book.
Yeah, they're all in it. Yeah,
if somebody watching this video mightn't necessarily know that there were that many players, but if they get the programme, it'll be...
Oh, they'll see it.
And there were a lot of
minor, junior, under 21, and vocationals especially was also a big part of it. Every one of them almost you could say 10 club now, which is a great way.
And once the facilities are here, Patsy, and they're playing football,
Well,
it'll happen again.
That's the idea, that's what we'll be hoping. Maybe down the road, but the idea is that somebody else will come along and maybe in 100 years' time there might be 13 more.
Well, the tradition is there, so it's bound to happen
exactly
again.
That's what we hope, that's what we want.
And Patsy, you've been involved in it a long time, and I'm sure you'll stay involved in it, you'll love it.
Well, when we finish here now, we might have to think, but I'll definitely be supporting the GAA.
Thanks very much, Patsy. There's one of the most dedicated GAA administrators in North Kerry, or in Kerry for that matter. And as the band come in here and the Asdee pitch, looking at Donny Finucane, who has put a lot of time into juvenile football in Asdee. Beside him, Sean Dordan, fine midfielder for Asdee. Overshadowed by the band. And the centre is Tom Gorman, who plays for Asdee and has done a lot of refereeing, a great club administrator. Beside him, a great supporter, Neely Keane. And beside him, the man we just spoke to a while ago, Patsy Coughlin. And we'll just take one of them, Sean Dordan. If Sean come out, we'll have a few words with him. Sean, powerful midfielder there for Asdee and a great worker for the club as well. Not all players put a lot into their club, but Sean certainly puts a lot of work in both as a player on the field and off the field. He does a lot of work as well. You've been involved very much with the club since the start, Sean.
Oh, I suppose since the start, Robert. I was even secretary at one stage, but that's a long time ago. Patsy took over for me and he's done a marvellous job. It's more the finance side of it I'm involved with. And like we have great people in the area, like great friends and everything. And even this evening, like the gods are with us there, the sun is shining on us. So it's a great evening for Asdee. Like, it's a great.
They tell me, Jean, that this facility here is almost paid for. Is that right?
It's almost paid for now. We were going to boast about it that we'd have our draw finished for the opening, but we're having a 4-month draw now at £5 a month, £20, and hopefully we'll get the numbers in that. And when that's over, we will have our...
You're only talking about very small money to clear the debt.
Oh, that's all, yeah. We've been very lucky. Like we have great friends in America, England, Australia, Canada, like everywhere, like all around the area. Like it has been unbelievable now that we could raise so much money. We have, I suppose, maybe in around 160,000 put into this place here this evening, like, and there wasn't a penny borrowed. So
that's terrific work. That's terrific work, John. And you're still playing away with Asdee.
Well, now and again now, and they're stuck now, Robert, like ourselves now.
But you're delighted you were involved in it.
Oh, sure, it's great. Like it's the best days of our life. Like,
and this evening is the culmination of all that.
This evening, like, it's proud to be an Asdee man here this evening.
Sean, we could talk about it forever. All we have to do is look up the field and we see what you've done. Thanks a million.
That's right, Robert. Thanks.
And with me here I have Seamus O'Neill, the GAA correspondent for the Kerryman over a number of years. Seamus, a fantastic facility here this evening by the Asdee GAA club.
Wonderful. It looks beautiful. My first time seeing the stand, and it's lovely. It's a great facility and a great asset here.
They tell me, Seamus, it cost something in the region of about 160,000 and it's almost paid for. That's fantastic.
Wonderful achievement. I wish all clubs would do the same.
And over the years, Seamus, you would have been covering a lot of football games. Who do you remember now from Asdee? They might have been playing for Asdee at the time. There were some outstanding footballers.
Well, I suppose the late Eamon O'Donovan body would be two of the best of them. John Kennedy, you could name them off a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And back again, of course, then back to Tommy Connor, back in the 50s. But I wasn't covering football that time, unfortunately.
Tommy used to become president.
He is, yeah. He
did a lot of football as well.
He did.
Eamon O'Donovan, Seamus, talk to me about Eamon.
What can I say about Eamon? He was the best.
A gentleman.
A gentleman on and off the field.
For a light player, wasn't he well able to...
He was able to take care of himself. You know, he never retaliated at the same time. He was very, very fair. There wasn't a dirty bone in his body.
And over the years, Seamus, do you think football has changed from what you've been covering? We'll say even at the county level now, has it got more negative or what?
It has. There's too much pulling and dragging now.
Wasn't always like that?
No. I think that the day they did away with the hard-shoulder charge, that killed football. Too much dragging and pulling now. Years ago, if a fella got a bit of a shoulder, and if he was knocked, he got up and he waited his chance and he fell a bit of a shoulder again. But there was none of this off the ball and pulling and dragging.
Even today now, Seamus, getting away from the opening, a lot of players were sent off today. It must be for that off the ball.
It must be. I mean, it's unbelievable. Here 2 Kildare been sent off today.
They still won the game.
And they still won the game.
Seamus, you'll be busy reporting on this. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And with me now is Paddy Lee, who spent many years playing here for Asdee and put a lot of time into football, and still a very fit man, could still play for them. Great day for Asdee today at the GAA.
It is a wonderful occasion for the people of this parish and for the club here in Asdee. It's a wonderful evening. It is great to get the weather fine, but the tremendous work that has gone in behind the scenes here by the people of the club and the people of the parish. As I say, it's a wonderful occasion.
And over the great tradition of football down here, Paddy.
Football was the king always in Asdee. And tradition in North Kerry said football was number one. There have been many great players in Asdee, of course. Jack Walsh being the number one himself with 6 All-Ireland medals. But after Jack, you had many fine footballers as well that gave great time and tradition to the game and understood the traditions of the game and what it was all about, and played for their parish. And above all, they gave commitment to their parish and their communities, which is one of the big factors in the GAA.
And they're the unsung heroes, Paddy. They're not always mentioned. They might be mentioned in your book, your programme that's out at the moment, but they weren't always mentioned. It's still they're as much a hero as anybody else. Really.
Well, I suppose in any GAA club you've got, in any team you'll have 15 players, and you'll have 1 or 2 guys that'll shine out, the fella that'll pull the great goal or make the great save on the day. But in any club you have the behind the scenes fellas that put in time evening after evening with juvenile footballers, with senior footballers, going to games, taking young fellas to games and things like that. They're unsung heroes in any club, and you have that in any walk of life. You'll always have unsung heroes, and to a great extent an evening like this in this club and this parish is a tribute to those people in another way.
Thank you very much, Paddy. Well said. Thank you very much. Talking to Paddy, I want to mention to you Michael Mulvihill, great man.
Yes, Michael was a great man, as you say. Died last year. It was a great loss to the club. He was a chairman of the club in its early years. A great character Michael was. Michael was over 6 foot tall, but he had a heart as big as his body, as it were, you know. And he was one of the great stalwarts of this club in its early years. And as I say, he's sadly missed for his wit and his character in our club. We miss him not alone in the club itself and in the home games, but in away games where Michael was always part of the razzmatazz that would be attached to any club. And as I say, he's sadly missed.
Did he work for the BBC?
He did. He worked with the BBC in London for many years, and I suppose part of his wit and the stories he told us about it, we often thought that he ran the BBC, you know, but that was part of the character that he was, and I know he wouldn't mind me saying that, you know, but he was, as I say, a great character.
And he passed away last year?
He passed away late last year.
He would love to be here tonight now.
Oh, he would love this occasion. He would be a man very much suited always to the big occasion. As I say, he dressed like a king always, and he always stood out, a man with a hat and his pipe, a distinguished looking character always, I might say. And this occasion he would be really proud.
A very nice tribute there from Paddy Lee to Michael Mulvihill, a great Asdee man who sadly passed away last year. Thank you very much, Paddy.
Thank you, Robert.
Standing outside the Jack Walsh Memorial pitch here in Asdee this beautiful June evening, we have with us the PRO of the GAA down from Dublin, Danny Lynch, who will perform the official opening in about a quarter of an hour's time. Lovely occasion here, Danny, this evening, and welcome to Asdee.
Thank you very much. It's absolutely magnificent occasion, and it's magnificent facilities all around. The pitch is absolutely gorgeous. The stand, the dressing rooms, everything. I've never actually seen in any pitch car park facilities like we're standing in now. There must be a couple of acres of it there, so I hope that they fill it on a continuous basis. But it's a credit to Asdee and a credit to the community in Asdee and the GAA club in particular. In fact, I suppose it's another instance of where the community and the GAA are totally intertwined to provide facilities for the young people and to provide healthy sporting options for them. And, you know, there's marvellous credit due to a small community here in Asdee, because this pitch would match any club pitch anywhere in Ireland that I've seen.
Danny, you've no fears for the GAA for the future when you see something like this happening in a very small community?
No, I haven't indeed. I was born, as you know, in this county, about 50 miles away in Dingle. And when I was a young lad growing up in Dingle, there was actually no underage football at all being played. There were only 2 pitches in the Dingle Peninsula, and 2 poor pitches at that, with very little facilities. In fact, I suppose you could hardly call them dressing rooms, only sheds. I travelled around this county 2 years ago on the Phelan and Og, and I'm absolutely fascinated at the progress that's been made in the provision of facilities and pitches right around the county. There are 5 now, as I said, in Dingle, where there were only 2 before. And there are probably more young people playing football and indeed hurling now than what there ever was. Travelling right through the 32 counties from Derry to Kerry, there are over about 2,000 clubs. I'm involved in a club myself in Dublin that didn't exist 15 years ago and now has a £1 million complex built and paid for and has 42 underage teams. And that's replicated right around the city. And indeed, as I say, when you see facilities that didn't exist in a place like this now materialising, Asdee, you must always remember, were more associated with Ballylongford down through the years. I see no major fear, but I mean that doesn't necessarily mean that we shouldn't recognise the challenges that are there.
Then that club in Dublin that you mentioned, I think it's, I was reading in the book tonight, would that club be St Jude's?
That's St Jude's GAA club now, which didn't exist at all in a new urban, I suppose, sprawl area. It didn't exist at all 15 years ago. I played actually in the first team that existed myself. I was press ganged into going up to have a look to see what was happening when they had a junior B team, and I ended up with a pair of Wellingtons playing in goal.
But you see, then we're out here in the country, it's a rural setting here, and money is hard to collect, but there's great support. But it must be very difficult, for example, now in an urban area like that. Or is it difficult?
It's not, because what you tend to have in urban areas is a greater opportunity to collect, provided you have the organisation on the ground. And to give you an example, since our club was established, in 10 years we sold 3 £100 draws, £100 per ticket, limited to 2,000. We sold out 2 initially when the club was being built. We're now building an extension to cater for the extra demand, and we sold 2,500 £100 tickets in 8 weeks. We also obviously have social facilities which have a turnover of about £500,000 a year, which is very necessary in Dublin, because you have, funnily enough, a lot more expenses in terms of you have to have buses to bring them across the city. There's a lot of hurling played as well, and the cost of hurleys and slitters, insurance and public liability and that type of thing is far higher. But Jude's is only one of about a dozen clubs I could roll off the top of my tongue that have developed in Dublin in the last few years. In my time playing in Dublin, for a South side to win the county championship was a novelty. I think 7 or 8 of the last 10 county championships in Dublin have now been won by South side teams that didn't essentially exist.
Well, Danny, that's an insight into what's happening in Dublin, because we've been talking to most of the people who are from Asdee here this evening, and that was something new. When people will watch this video down the years, they will remember what Danny said about St Jude's in Dublin and the contrast he drew there between the urban and the rural. And we'll be back later on when Danny is performing the official opening. So Danny, thanks a million.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Right. To see the official
I welcome you all here to Walsh Park this evening. And now I'm calling on Dennis Foley to unveil the National Lottery sign.
Dennis Foley, been involved, happy after the victory yesterday.
Okay, Chairman, it is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here this evening and be asked to unveil this beautiful plaque. I'd like to compliment the Asdee GAA club for the work they've done and wish them every success with this magnificent field. Thank you.
The plaque unveiled by Dennis Foley PD, and of course the Asdee GAA club got considerable National Lottery funding, and they would like to thank the committee and Dennis Foley for
Thanks very much to Dennis Foley.
Lottery fund.
And now I'm calling on Danny Lynch to unveil the plaque honouring the late Jack Walsh, who was 6 All-Ireland medals, and who this field has been called after.
Will now unveil the plaque opening the pitch.
Okay.
Yes, we'll have the official unveiling now by Danny Lynch, the PRO of the GAA. Danny, who spoke a while ago, born in West Kerry, and done a lot of work in Dublin for St Jude's Club, and now about to officially unveil the flag.